Safety car boards and flags.
Oh, we've got a safety car.
Scrambles.
There's a safety car. Oh, and what an Australian reason for a safety car. There's an echidna on the edge of the racetrack. Probably the right thing to take the pressure away from the fuel question mark. Oh, did he find a gap?
How do you know it's a he?
Yeah, there's the tennis court, by the way. Oh, my goodness. This is the replay of the echidna at the cutting. And Macaulay Jones spots it. What a great presence of mind. And also Kostecki in 34. Wow. Thrill seeker out there without a helmet. Got himself into the top 10 after a brilliant qualifying performance, and that car's got big damage. Why?
He's run into his teammate, sure.
You're kidding me. So he's driven straight to the back of Andrew Jones. Working out what was going on there. So the Gillette replay shows that the lights have parted company from the medical car.
The car is on fire.
Well, this is an unbelievable situation for Ford Performance Racing and Mark Winterbottom. Car 6 on fire. Unbelievably disappointing. They had done such a good job. Watch this. This thing is an inferno as it comes into pit lane. And by now, he's thinking, I've got to get out of here.
Well, FPR boss Tim Edwards is just watching this back now. Tim, any feel for what might have caused that?
No, none whatsoever. He just said he was coming in the pit lane. We assumed it was a tyre-related issue, but no idea.
Now, this is significant because Tander, who dodged the kangaroo...
It all fell off.
You're kidding me.
It just fell off. Can you believe that?
That is ridiculous, isn't it? Now, that's a tweak that I've not seen before. They'll probably resolve that fairly readily, but they needed to change the roll centre. They needed to change the incoming tyre pressures. Now they've got to get a door back on the hinges.
Stay off the brake.
Tank still connected to the car.
You'll see it there on the left-hand side. Look at that. Oh, man, what an ugly mess. And really dangerous.
Well, how lucky we didn't get a big explosion there. There is an enormous amount of fuel there, highly combustible material. They were onto it quickly with the foam, but how easily could that have erupted into an inferno? Look at the fuel.
Great work by the marshals there. Great work.
We're thinking the same there, Woodsy, weren't we? Because they were spot on. I mean, another second or so there, and that could have been absolutely disaster. So all this time is added. Remember, he's got to sit, from what I understand, in the pit bay for 5 minutes. Time starts now.
Might as well get out and have some lunch.
What a great roast.
Yeah, he is.
Well, Murphy's out of the car, guys. He is fuming. He came down pit lane and he said, look, this is crazy business. Might as well put the car out the back. They're telling Todd to get in the car. No, he's going... I think he's going to take use of the facilities here. But he is fired up.
And that's Jamie Whincup passing the Lexus RCF safety car with the lights flashing. Can't see any green light, can't see any other additional signals. And I'll go back to the operations manual in the sporting regs, and you can see Mark Dutton, 11.2.2, overtaking of the safety car is forbidden unless signalled to do so by the observer in the safety car.
We've spoken a lot about Jamie Whincup, but Chaz
trouble here, sorry,
Reynolds, yes.
We've got a big problem here with Taz Douglas up on the outside. So here's the replay of what happened to Paul Morris. He just completed the stop. He's on the marbles. There's nothing out there in the way of grip. So here's the replays, the situation in the background there. See the Nissan Altima unfortunately nosed into the fence. And this man, Scotty Pye. Now, meantime, race officials are actually having a long, hard look at what's going on up there at the moment at turn 2, trying to figure out a way of rectifying the dramas that we've got up there because it's bordering on dangerous. A long time since we've seen these kinds of scenes. There was a blockage in the race back in 1981 up at the top of the hill. We had the drama in 1992 when Mark and Jimmy won the race when there was a blockage up the top. This is for an entirely different reason. Even Richards there to make that work. Oh, trouble, wheels up, the wheels come off the key car in that team car number 1 that's been closing in on the championship. What on earth has happened there?
Keep coming, mate. Keep bringing it back. Bring it back.
So Paul Dumbrell with the right front having parted company. Where did the wheel end up? Thankfully caught the sand trap.
Oh, look at that.
What on earth has hit this car? I believe it's a wheel. That's the view from on board. That's collapsed the windscreen, damage to the roof turret on the car. It's caved in the front of the Better Electrical Lowndes Ford. It's the wheel that I'm sure will have parted company from Paul's car, from Stephen Richards' Paul Dumbrell car. See the car in the background, it was Craig Lowndes. So that wheel was bouncing on the run, exiting turn 2, bouncing on the run up towards the cutting, and it somehow bounced its way into the path of Craig Lowndes. He's a very lucky man not to have copped that wheel. We didn't see it, but it was just to the right of screen there, and there's the damage on the 888 car. Unbelievably bad luck. Track position is owned by Shane Van Gisbergen. That's Garth Tander right on him. Nick Percat, David Reynolds, Scott Pye's in there. Craig Lowndes is out of sequence. He's down the order at 16th, and he's gone. Shane Van Gisbergen has gone down the escape road at 23. We've said it over and over all week. They keep on doing it. Tander went with him. Nick Percat is the leader of the race. How did that happen?
That's unbelievable. The man you put your money on, the guy who's the master of the wet conditions, goes off without Tander's spun. Boston's involved. Cam was involved. Can you believe the chaos we've got going in this race? I cannot believe it.
An extraordinary situation. He's trying to imagine it. The bonnet of your car covering your windscreen, and you are tightly strapped in. You cannot lean out of the car and look. So you have to actually view from the side where you're going, in the middle of traffic, race traffic.
We've got Alex Rossi in the sand trap at the final corner. This is highly likely another safety car. What do they do? How do they take it? It's come at an awkward time. We're on lap 135. We're almost at critical lap. McLaughlin is second. Coulthard is third with a water temperature question mark.
He's slowed. He's backed them all off. So he's parked up. Have a look at the gap now. Coulthard was right there. So he's backed them all up. So he's trying to minimise the double stack.
You've got to be careful playing that game because you can cop a penalty for that one if you back the field up.
Look at the gap now.
It's football fields.
13 seconds to Van Gisbergen.
Has he got a bigger issue? I mean, there could be trouble over this. If you do that to the field, then you could end up with a pretty severe penalty if he is in fact backing them up.
That is massive. So the yellow flags are out. You can't pass, and he's backed them up so hard.
Unless there's some failure going on here.
Total gamesmanship. Total team order.
On the mountain somewhere. Slow down. Extreme caution.
Yep.
Righto, so that has changed everything. So I'm watching the computer tumble like the stock market here at the moment. Yeah, this is unbelievable. McLaughlin's jammed under the rear wing. It may have now become a two-horse race because of what's happened with Coulthard and backing the field, whether deliberate or whether there's some other issue at play there. Because that gap has opened up so much, the others are not a factor anymore. So on correction, it's McLaughlin and Whincup.
Right story, news has just come through. Black flag for car 12. What was the situation there? We know he had an overheating problem, he had to put water in the car. But he did drop back a long way and wasn't having any trouble before the safety car. So what was the story?
Well, it's one of those things, isn't it?
Okay then. So a bit of a plan.
Oh, I wouldn't go so far as that. We were genuinely having overheating issues with the car, and where it was worse was under safety car when you're not getting a lot of air go through the car. So, yeah, not ideal, but we're paying the price.
There won't be any complaints about that, though. I'm picking.
2 fly cams, helicopters buzzing all around us. Oh no, already. Cameron McConville, can you believe it? We have not even started the race, and this car is parked at the exit of turn 2. Smoke in the cabin.
Yeah, look, stay there, mate, and I'll find out what the procedures from there. Yeah.
This may well delay the start, so Cam McConville in the car. Difficult morning for Super Cheap. Paul Wheel down in the bunker.
Hello, there's a big story brewing.
There is a massive story
at the moment, and that is the fact that there's confusion in the Stone Brothers garage about whether or not Warren Luff had his balaclava on, and they're talking about on the race control channel black flag in car number 1 for a drive-through penalty. So they've said to Marcus, stay out there at the moment until we resolve this. This is a huge story. I heard the call from Tim Schenken, race director, black flag car 1, safety apparel infringement. It was a clear call, and once they've issued a black flag, it's hard to retract it. But they're all studying the monitor, which makes me think that they're more worried about Marcus than they are Warren. So maybe it's Marcus that doesn't have it on.
I think you need to see if you can see his neck.
Look around his collar. Is that his neck that we're spotting?
Yeah.
The last time in for Marcus was lap 100. That was only 18 laps ago.
Are you wearing your balaclava there now? Yes, I am. 100% sure about that? I believe so.
Race over.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Can you believe it?
Well, I mean, there's the spare balaclava, and you'd agree with it, but I do agree with what Marcus says. The whole field needs to be wearing it as well. So if it's going to be enforced, it better be enforced properly. Look at that, he didn't have it on.
And listen to the roar on the top of the mountain. The Holden fans love it. They probably don't know the kind of situation up there that Mark Scaife has got underneath his feet, because he's had to fight this Holden Commodore the whole way. The last 10 laps have been an extraordinary story of just holding on to what you've got, and what he had was a 5-second lead. It's now down to 3 seconds. The officials say he's got it in the bag through Forest Elbow for the last time. No problems. No problems at all. Can he hold on? Has the car got enough? Down Conrod Straight for the very final time. You can see Richards. He'd know that he's in the mirror. There he is, Stephen Richards, with lights on. The gap is too big. And Mark Scaife is going to do it for the Holden Racing team. Jim Richards will collect his 7th crown. Mark Scaife will collect his 4th individual crown. This will be their 3rd Bathurst win together. They did it in 91 and 92 in a Nissan, and now they're going to do it in 2002. And isn't that fitting that Mark Scaife goes around Peter Brock? And Mark Scaife will go back-to-back at Bathurst. He secures another Australian touring car title. Stephen Richards comes across in 2nd position. What a finish.
Richards is right with Scaife. This is an unbelievable drive from Jason Richards. Ellery is 3rd. Now Murphy needs to get by that WPS Falcon, and Richards is giving Scaife the big hurry up.
Yeah, there's no doubt that for whatever reason in the early phase of these restarts, the HRT car is not quite comfortable in its... Ambrose has had a massive shunt. Ambrose has had a massive shunt. So Greg Murphy's involved. More cars. The track is jammed. The track is jammed.
Can you believe that? That was huge. And look at this. The track completely blocked.
Okay there, mate?
It could be game over. It could be Mark Scaife's victory. We have passed the 75% distance. What will this man do? What will the race director Tim Schenken do?
And how did that happen? More to the point, Greg Murphy's tangled up with it.
Cars are getting through. Cars are getting through. They may not red flag it.
Murphy is out of the car. Ambrose stepping from the car. Did these two tangle? And watch this. Look at these guys.
It's on.
Murphy and Ambrose, these two do not like each other, and they are going to have some serious words. Look at this. They are two heated men. They are two heated competitors. Can you believe this Super Cheap Auto 1000 has ended like this? Well, it's not over yet. And that tells you the story. They did collide.
And the leaders can laugh themselves home at all this. What a day for these guys. And how much work do they have to do to get that car turned around before the next event on the Gold Coast? Now, can cars get through, or do they have to red flag this race?
If
if that Valvoline Cummins car can get fired up.
Look at this, massive damage on the Orcon. I don't know that they're going to get through there. That's what Tim's asking for. Race director Tim Schenken, is there a path through? He's got to make a judgment call.
Car number 2 behind safety car.
Yep. Colin Bond, Steve Priest there in the black jacket.
There is now a path through.
But it's covered in carbon fibre, metal, bits of glass. Look at that car of Marcus Ambrose. It is smashed.